He was just an ordinary man, a single father trying to balance work, bills, and bedtime stories. His world revolved around his little girl, her laughter, her questions, her dreams. Every day began early and ended late, with barely enough time to rest. Yet he never complained. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed, but he'd learned to smile through the struggle, teaching his daughter that strength often hides in quiet hearts. He wasn't a superhero or a soldier, just a dad doing his best to keep promises and protect what mattered most. But sometimes, life tests even the most ordinary souls in extraordinary ways. That night, when fate placed him at the right place at the right time, his heart didn't think twice. The world would soon see that true heroes aren't born. They're made in moments that demand courage. It was late, the streets half empty, and he was on his way home after another long shift. His thoughts were already with his daughter, maybe asleep with her favorite stuffed toy by her side. Then, out of nowhere, a voice pierced the silence, trembling, desperate, pleading, "Daddy, please help her." For a split second, he froze, unsure if he'd heard it right. But when he saw two men cornering a young woman near a dimly lit alley, something inside him snapped awake. That single word, "Daddy," struck a place deeper than fear. It wasn't his daughter calling, yet it felt like it was. His protective instinct took over before logic could intervene. In that instant, he stopped being just a passerby. He became the shield between danger and innocence, moved by a voice that echoed every father's greatest purpose: to protect, no matter the cost. Without a second thought, he rushed toward the scene, his heart pounding but his resolve unshaken. The two men were bigger, louder, and clearly not expecting anyone to interfere. But courage isn't measured by size, it's defined by purpose. He didn't have a plan or even time to think. Instinct took control. Words turned into warnings, warnings into action. And in moments that felt both endless and fleeting, he fought, not for glory, but for what was right. The men fled, startled by the force of someone who refused to stand by. When it was over, he barely noticed his bruised knuckles or the torn sleeve on his shirt. He only looked toward the girl, shaken but safe, and realized that bravery doesn't wait for applause. It rises quietly, from love, from conscience, from the simple belief that doing nothing is never an option. When the chaos faded and silence returned, he didn't think of himself as a hero. He simply made sure the young woman was safe, offered his jacket, and waited until help arrived. There was no pride in his eyes, only relief, the kind that comes from knowing you did what was right. He didn't ask for her name, nor expect gratitude. In his mind, any father would have done the same. His courage came from compassion, not recognition. That night reminded him that kindness is a language the heart understands without needing reward. It wasn't power or strength that made the difference. It was empathy. The world often celebrates success and fame, but real greatness lives in quiet acts of humanity, in moments when someone chooses to care. Sometimes, the simplest act of compassion can echo louder than any headline or applause. The next morning began like any other. He packed his daughter's lunch, dropped her at school, and headed to his small workshop, unaware that life was about to change. A black car pulled up outside, sleek and unfamiliar. From it stepped a well-dressed man, composed, powerful, but with eyes full of gratitude. The man introduced himself as the CEO of a major company, the father of the young woman he had saved. What followed wasn't just words of thanks. It was an offer that would alter his future, a job, stability, and a chance to rebuild the life he'd quietly been struggling to hold together. The single dad stood there, overwhelmed, realizing that his simple act of courage had rippled far beyond that night. Sometimes, doing the right thing doesn't just save someone else. It ends up saving you, too. Bell. In the days that followed, he often thought about how everything had unfolded, how one moment of courage had rewritten his story. He hadn't fought those men expecting anything in return. He acted because it was the right thing to do. That's what integrity truly means. Doing good even when no one's watching, even when there's nothing to gain. His daughter, too young to understand it all, looked up at him with new admiration, and he realized the greatest lesson he could ever teach her wasn't through words, but through example. The world may reward skill, power, or wealth, but what it values most deeply, even if quietly, is character. That night proved that love, courage, and kindness never go unnoticed. They may take time, but they always find their way back, often in ways more beautiful than we can ever imagine.